Welcome back to Talkin Shop with ShopSabre. I'm Brandon, back with the gang, Chad, Travis, and Kyle. How you guys doing today?
Good. We all made it back.
We made it. Everybody's here. Well, Kyle just tried to destroy his computer 2 seconds before the podcast started by slamming the mic on top of his computer. So that was super awesome.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
Less than ideal.
Kyle, is that what you're doing? Self-sabotage?
Yes.
You're like, hey, I can get out of this podcast by dropping this giant mic on top of my... So everybody knows, like, these mics aren't just, like, handheld microphones. Like, they got these, like, ridiculously heavy bases on them. I don't even know what they're made out of. What do you think that's made out of, Chad?
I don't know.
I'm knocking on it. Like, I'm going to, like, by knocking on it, it makes
Some
it...
sort of
Definitely.
plastic.
No, that's steel.
That's not steel.
I don't know,
We are
man.
metal fabricators here. This is not steel.
Iron.
Iron? Is that what you think it is? Iron?
My first
I don't know.
guess.
It feels like it probably something off Mars. It's definitely something out of space. I think they bought rare Earth magnets, rare space magnets, and that's what it is. And you tried to drop it on your computer. How much do you think that weighs? We're all like carrying our mics right now.
I know customers are going to be like, what the hell are they doing? Just a lot of banging going on.
Whoa.
15 pounds?
15 pounds. What do you think, Chad?
I'd say 10.
He says 10, but he's got biceps the size of my body, so that doesn't count. So it's probably 15. Travis, how heavy do you think it is?
I'm going 12.
Yeah, right.
Right in the middle.
That's final answer, Bob. We don't even know the answer. So
We got a scale around here.
so we got a scale. Let's weigh this thing.
things.
Let's
Yeah.
weigh it. Anyways, so that's how the episode started. Is that we tried to drop a mic on a computer, and that was really awesome. So thank you guys for weighing in on what you think this base of my mic weighs. All I know is it's about as big as me. So yeah, I know last week we talked about new opportunities. Have you guys had any new opportunities this year?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What opportunities have you had, Chad?
A new opportunity to come back to ShopSabre.
You took away my joke. That's where I was going at the end when everybody said no. And I was going to say, well, you had an opportunity to come back to work. You're welcome. But you beat me to it. So thanks for wrecking the joke, Chad. Sweet. What about you, Travis? Anything? I'm not even going to ask. I don't care.
I was just going to say, I finally had the opportunity to use my new shed.
I was
so
just
that
going to say,
pretty
I knew this
exciting.
was going to the shed. As soon as I said it, I was like, I don't care. I don't want to hear about the stupid shed anymore.
Oh, my wife's definitely sick of hearing about it.
Oh, I'm sure. That's all we hear about is the shed. Except for now you have like
Exciting.
19 feet of snow in front of your shed.
It took me about 2 weeks to get my trailer out. So now that the
Oh, your trailer is out?
Oh, dude, it was a shit show. But yeah, we got it. It's now in front of the doors of the shed. Everything is in the shed for the most part. And now I can use my enclosed trailer.
Is the shed actually like finished?
No, inside has not been touched, but there's walls and a ceiling.
Is it
indoors.
insulated?
It will be, but it is not right now.
So if I go live in your shed, I'd be cold.
You'd be quite cold.
So I'm not going to live in your shed yet.
Because my buddy goes, hey, where are you going to work
Next
on your...
winter.
He says, where are you going to work on your snowmobile and your new shed? I said, no, I'm going to probably put it in my enclosed trailer. I can actually heat that.
You know what's going to happen? Travis is going to get this crazy idea next winter. Hey, you know that new shed that we built? If we drill some holes in the bottom of it, we have a really nice ice house.
Yeah.
Did run through my mind.
He'll
but
be pulling his shed out onto the lake.
14 by 18, I'm going to need an oversized permit to be able to pull that baby,
That would assume you cared to follow the law.
which we all know that I probably wouldn't in that case.
That's it. I've seen you on a four-wheeler down the street. You don't care. You literally don't care. You could not ride that four-wheeler down the street.
You got to catch me.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's cool. So new opportunity for you is the shed. I like it. Kyle, why are you so quiet over there?
No, I don't know. All this snow is kind of giving me the new opportunity to go snowboarding again.
Yeah. So where do you go snowboarding at?
I went to Spirit the other week. which
Spirit
was really
Mountain?
nice. Yeah, Spirit up in Duluth.
I fell down that hill one time.
Not fun.
No, it hurts.
It's a long way down.
It hurts.
Travis wants you to bring him and his wife with you next time.
Oh, yeah?
Well, wife wants to really go skiing.
Bring out the snowmobile. Take it all the way down.
Yeah, she's. I would just like it to be able to pull me back up, but I guess at the ski hills they actually have a lift for you.
They have a
so-
lift for that, Travis.
Yeah.
You don't need to be pulled up the hill.
Yeah, I'm thinking back when I was in my teen years and we're walking up hills after we go down with the.
That was at the
toboggan.
local park, though. It's a little different when you're riding down a mountain.
That was
Right.
mom and dad's backyard, actually.
So it's even smaller hill.
Yeah, I didn't even have the patience to go anywhere else.
He's like, Dad, get the snowmobile. I need to be brought back to the top.
This didn't
Travis,
happen.
take the 3 steps to the top. What are you doing
that the
over here?
mic?
Dropping
Microphone again?
everything.
No, now he dropped his phone and his. Oh my God, Kyle.
I
He's
hope you
just
have
out of-
protection packages on
Hey,
everything
Kyle, were you wearing a
electronic.
helmet when you went
Oh,
snowboarding
of
last
course.
time?
Yes.
I was just curious if you had a
Risking
concussion.
severe brain injury. if
Yeah, I was
did
just
not.
wondering. I thought maybe you had a concussion. I thought that was early signs. I was going to send you to the doctor.
Good news too for you, Brandon. He now has a new ice scraper, so he's no longer using his snowboard to dig himself out.
Is this true?
It's true.
Is
It's
it
true?
Is it fancy?
No, it's actually
not.
like
It
5
actually
times
wasn't.
smaller than the one that I currently have. It's so small.
It's not even adjustable. I looked at it. I'm like, who buys a fixed ice scraper these days?
Yeah.
Kyle does. Well, today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about handling stress in your business. Stress test. Does that sound good?
Absolutely.
Nobody liked that one?
I'm good.
You're good. Chad says he's out. Chad just left the room. No, I chose this topic because I felt like a lot of people allow the day-to-day stresses of their lives and their business to dictate their decisions. Do you guys agree?
I agree.
I see it. Yeah.
Many times, like stresses that, people deal with, could control better processes and better judgment, right? Sometimes you're just like, I think people get overwhelmed is what it is a lot of times from stress. And they become like, they make really big things out of things that really aren't that big.
For sure.
I mean, I know I do it. I know like sometimes that like I get stressed out and then I kind of assume that like it's going to be a much bigger, more difficult task than it ends up being just because I got myself worked up. And I know that you guys do it because I've had to deal with it sometimes when you guys are worked up.
You're usually good about bringing me back to ground level.
Well, I try. I do my best. I mean, I'm just one man trying to do it. But no, I mean, seriously though. I mean, I like to pick on you guys a little bit, but you got to think about like the stresses in the world affect a lot of different things. And sometimes it's just simply people take these situations that to them are overwhelming, right? Or have a lot of tasks associated with them. And they run with it and make it a lot bigger than it has to be. And now it was already overwhelming to them and it becomes just so sizable that they just give up on it. I guess, what do you guys think about when you're handling stresses in your life or in business or your day-to-day? Obviously you guys are both in business. You guys deal with ShopSabre and, customers and your own goals and your life. And how do you guys deal with, or what do you think about handling stresses?
Well, I guess like for me personally, I deal with a lot of customers that'll say, I have to put this on hold because I've just got too much going on right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of times I don't know what they have going on, so it might be more, precedent than what the machine is. But
Yeah.
the biggest thing that I see is a guy will say, well, I've got so many issues with employees right now. More reason to get a CNC machine.
Correct.
Because then you don't have to rely on the employees anymore. Obviously, I'm not going to just say that to them because obviously they're stressed out enough already, but in the business with customers, that's what I see. A lot of times they come up with excuses to try to not buy a machine or think about the machine because they feel that their stress levels are too high.
That's kind of where my brain went. Like, honestly, when I was writing, the topic and coming up with the topic was, customers putting off purchases because they say they're, they got too much going on.
Yep.
And I feel like that's a perfect example of people like literally hindering their businesses because of stress. And it's like, you could be making your life a whole lot easier, but instead you're putting off something that is going to do that for you because of how difficult things are right now for you. I mean, that was kind of where I was going. So that's cool, Travis, that you thought of that. Chad, what do you think about, man? What do you think about with handling stresses in life and business? And I don't know. Any feedback there?
I like to Hulk smash things, when I
Hulk
get stressed.
smash.
So that's why my desk has holes in it, but
Chad's desk is like Swiss cheese over there.
I agree with Travis though that people put off buying equipment because they have stresses other areas and they think the machine is just going to add to it, but they don't think about support and training and everything that comes with the machine.
That's right.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right there. They make, again, it goes back to my earlier thing. They make big deals out of little things, right? Mm-hmm. To them, oh my God, I'm going to have to think about the training and I'm going to think about this. And they start making this giant list in their head that, oh, it's not worth it, right? It's not worth it. But it's like, if they would just like slow down, give us a chance to explain it, like you start to see that like a lot of that's already thought out. Mm-hmm. Like we do this every day, right? I mean, this is what we do. Help people add equipment and help automate their shops and, take steps forward. And I feel like sometimes people are their own booby traps, right? They booby trap themselves from success.
Self-sabotage.
That's the word. I was trying to figure the word out and I came up with booby. Booby wasn't the word. It was supposed to be sabotage. No, but that's the truth though. Like you said, it's self-sabotage. And, I think a lot of people, they give too much power. They give too much weight to things that are really not that severe, really not that big of a deal, right?
Yep.
And, for myself, I'm big on understanding the day-to-day stresses in my personal life alone, but also my professional life. Like, I try to minimize stress sources. That's one thing about me. Like, you'll find is if something is causing me a lot of stress, I remove it from my life. I don't like to deal with unnecessary stresses. If something's causing me stress, I look at ways to at least reduce it. You can't remove stress 100% from your life. I mean, that's just not possible. But I believe you can reduce it. And, whether it's through the investment in good products that you use or whether it's in good systems or good people around you. I mean, that's a big part for me is I'm really big about building a team around me that reduces stress, right? Travis, your head's never going to fit out of this room's door after I bring you guys up here. But, honestly, with you guys in sales, I hire sales guys that don't need to be micromanaged. I'm not huge on having to do your job for you.
Right.
I don't like that. If I'm going to do the job, I might as well just do the job then, right? Then I don't need to pay somebody to do that. So I feel like if I'm going to pay you, I want you to be able to be self-sufficient in a lot. I mean, again, there's areas where you guys ask for help. I mean, that should be expected, right? But I don't have to come up to your desk every single day and make sure that you did your job. Oh, did you get those follow-ups out? Did you get this email out? Did you call that guy? I don't have to do that every day. The majority of it is it kind of runs itself in that aspect of it. Yeah, we have reports and we have tools in place to make sure that A, you can remember it, right? And B, I can check on it. But to me, that goes back to the people that we've hired, and the people I hire on my team specifically, I try to find somebody who has skills that I don't have. I want people who know how to do things that I don't know how to do, but additionally can do the things I know how to do when I ask them to.
Right.
And so sales, it's finding sales guys with different personalities and different, characteristics because not every person's the same out there. And it's nice to have somebody who can connect on a different level, right?
Yep.
And, good systems. It goes back to, having ERP systems and having CRM systems and all these things in place that reduce something. I don't have to sit there and count inventory on every little thing every day. The system checks and balances take care of itself, right? So I think there's a lot to do with that comes to mind for me. Really when you're expanding your shop, and really expanding your shop in 23, let's talk about that real quick. But, ShopSabre has always been about opening doors to getting new and exciting technology into the end user's hands, right? I mean, that's really kind of what we do is when you look at, where we've come and where we're going. I mean, we started at my dad's garage, right? We started at my dad's garage and now we're operating pretty heavily in a 100,000 square foot facility, right? And obviously there's no secret about it. We just acquired another company. Obviously that was just announced. And it's kind of cool to be able to say that. This started as something in my dad's garage and we've expanded and we've built and, all of that didn't come without stress, right? But it's about managing those stresses. And the biggest thing that we've tried to accomplish that entire time has always been about getting CNC technology into people's hands at an affordable price, right? That's Absolutely. A big part of who we are. And opening those doors, right? Giving people the ability to do more. And, we're not really here at ShopSabre, we're not big on one-off parts or production, right? I mean, we try to run in a manufacturing environment. We build products that can work for a variety of markets. That's the other thing. Sometimes customers, forget that they aren't the only customer we sell to. We get cabinet guys as an example. They expect the machine to, cut cabinets and they think that's the only thing that machine does, right? So then they're like, well, I don't understand why this wasn't standard. Why do I have to buy that option? Or why do I have to think, and it's like, well, if every single customer I sold the machine to was cutting cabinets, yeah, it probably would be standard. But they're not. I sell the sign makers too. And I sell to guys who cut cabinets and signs. And I sell to guys who cut signs primarily but want to do some cabinets. And, you know, there's other industries out there too that we have to kind of think about. And so, you know, there's so much that goes into consideration, but it's, again, stressing about those little things would just overwhelm the business, right? Sometimes it's just a matter of finding the best of all things and combining them and making them as good as you possibly can without hurting other areas.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, that's just me rambling a little bit here. I guess, you know, for me, you know, part of this is just simply reducing stress, you know, of labor burden in your shop. That's a CNC machine, right?
For sure.
Like, you know, hell, nobody can find people nowadays anyways, right? When you start thinking about it, you can find, you know, if you do find somebody who has some skills, they're probably pretty sought after right now, right? The demand for those type of people right now.
It seems that way.
Yeah, and you know, it becomes unaffordable by the average size company to afford those type of people. Right? These giants out there who have a lot of money, they can scoop up the talent because they can just throw money at it.
Yep.
So what does a mom and pop shop or a middle market to low market business, what do they do when they need good talent?
By automation.
Yeah. I mean, you have to automate it, right? And CNC technology can solve these problems, right?
Absolutely.
So
It automates the process.
yeah, exactly. It automates it, right? It gives you the ability to do more with the same amount of people. Because, like you said, you can't just afford to buy a $120,000 a year employee, maybe, right?
Well, I don't think you can live off the back of that guy for
Yeah.
a long term. They're gaining more each year in revenue off of just working the one guy, you know.
When you could potentially remove people too. So if you've got a few people that you know need to leave, you just need to get rid of them, the machine can replace them. Yeah, you might have to learn a little bit on the machine, but again, lifetime tech support, lifetime training. You learn it, hire on somebody new, you can train them or we'll train them. You know, so again, relieving some of their stress because they think that they're going to have to babysit this machine or this person when they don't realize that ShopSabre will take care of all that for you with your standard purchase.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. No, that's all.
because you might have a guy, even if you're paying the guy $40,000, $50,000 a year, and it might not be your best employee. That's money that you could be putting towards your machine.
Well, that's exactly. I mean, to me, that's the story that people need to think about. Is it's like it's so easy. Again, go back. Let's just back up again. Oh, what about the power? What about the, you know, I got to move the machine in and I got to think about this and that and this and that. And I have a million. Anybody can come up with a list of reasons why you don't do something. That's the easy part.
Yep.
With anything in life.
Anything. Like literally anything.
Getting up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, dude. But my bed is super, super warm. I don't want to get up.
I could probably fall back to sleep for a few more hours.
Yeah, like I don't want to get up. Like there's a reason behind that. That wasn't a legitimate statement. You can't get up. That bathroom, there's no excuses. You just stay in bed. There's no list there.
Just
Sorry.
get a catheter.
Ouch. No. But no, I mean, like you said, like, there's a reason for anything, right? You can come up with a reason not to do something. But yeah, you know, like you said, Travis, is you can spend $100. I mean, good employees now are going to cost you $80,000 to $120,000 a year,
For sure.
right? And buying a machine, you can get a lot of machine for $80,000 to $120,000. Can you not, guys?
Oh, for sure.
Like, think about that. The guys are choosing to hire people that then control their business.
Yep.
Or they were 80 grand today, but somebody else is going to come back and scoop them up for 100. Right? So you get them for 6 months or 8 months or whatever it is, and then in 6 to 8 months, they're just on the prowl again.
And I think another thing that, you know, the owners of these businesses should be thinking about is the easier you make the work for your employees, the more they're going to want to work, or the more they're going to want to come back. So again, adding a CNC machine, now all they're doing is just taking a sheet on and off the table. They don't have to run the hand saws anymore. And I don't even know what all goes into a cabinet shop manually, but with a CNC machine, a lot of these guys say, wow, I just opened up half my shop by getting rid of all that equipment because the CNC will do it all.
Right. I mean, that's something to think about, is that, you know, real quick, why we're on that subject is, as you said, it's reducing stress for you by adding a CNC machine, but it's also reducing stress for your employees. And again, if you think your employees aren't stressing about things, then you're crazy. Everybody has stresses in their lives. So as the employer, if you're the guy helping reduce their stress, are they not going to want to stick it out with you and help you out?
Absolutely.
But if you're the guy adding more stress to their life, right? They see other shops running automation, and you're the guy you're being too cheap to go buy that automation, or you buy them the cheap automation. You go buy them the cheapy Chinese machine, right? The stuff they didn't want. I think that's the most like forgotten thing. Like these business owners slap their employees in the face. Like, hey, we really need this, blah, blah, blah. And they go buy like the one the guy straight up doesn't want, right? Like, look, I got you a CNC machine. Like, you might as well have not bought me one. Like, why did you buy me that? You know, like, like we hear it. Do we not, Chad? Me and you just dealt with a guy. I'm not going to call anybody out in case his boss is listening, but, you know, he was looking at our machine and another machine, and the employee really was pushing on our product. He did a lot of research. I mean, the guy spent weeks with you, right?
Absolutely.
We made a recommendation. He made a recommendation. And the boss ran off and bought something else that like he had never researched, didn't know anything about, was really frustrated by it, obviously, was really upset. And he made the comment. I mean, they have made comments to us. We've heard it from other people before that, hopefully we'll be back here in a few weeks or a few months when this thing's not working. But it starts to make you wonder, like, what's going through that guy's head at that moment? As an employee, do you think he's thinking about maybe switching jobs now?
That.
Yep. I think so. Like, I think at that point, that guy's going, this guy doesn't value me.
Yeah, the trust is gone.
Yeah, like did all this research. I did all my time and effort in this, and this guy just ran off and bought something cheap. Mm-hmm. Like,
especially if that machine now does not work, that
correct.
Employee's then gonna be like, you know what, this isn't worth it for me.
That's a huge gamble, exactly. Because I mean, if it works, home run, you look like a hero, and the guy's probably happy. But if it doesn't work, not only is your business in a bad spot now because the machine's not running, it's not doing it, and you spent a bunch of money on it, but now you potentially risk losing the one employee who helped you get here. Right? The one guy who was doing it without the machine, now he's gone, because he's like, dude, this isn't worth it. I'm not going down that road again. I already put my time and energy into this. Plus, he's frustrated, so now little things will start to add up later on, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just talk about that. Adding CNC technology can many times solve many of the stresses in manufacturing industries. We know that. Like, we've talked about that. But what areas in business can cause stress, guys? Like, to you, let's just kind of name off some of them. Like, what do you think, what comes to mind for that?
Lead times.
Lead times?
For sure. That's a good one. Overtime.
Overtime. Oh, that's a good one. Not wanting to have to put the overtime in maybe, or maybe having to put too much overtime in. I like it.
Yep.
Cost to buy parts.
Cost of buying parts, especially right now, 2022. Well, now we're in 23, but 22, the cost of materials. I mean, right now you can't buy eggs. They're super expensive.
Yeah, those memes are getting pretty good.
Yeah, but I make hard-boiled eggs every week. That's what I eat for lunch. I love them.
I do too.
But now I'm afraid to because they're expensive. That's going to slow my race car down.
I got good news for you, Brandon. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You can get chickens.
I can't get chickens.
I mean, kind of good.
No, that means I have to take care of chickens.
That's what you got kids for.
I have to take care of them already. Like, this is not working. Now I have kids that want to take care of chickens. So I got to take care.
You should get chickens. Why don't you have chickens?
Because I have kids.
Yeah.
I
So you should
have to deal with
chickens.
keeping them alive. I don't want to keep them and chickens
But you
alive.
also have a wife.
So I have to keep my wife, chickens, and kids alive? That just sounds terrible.
But you got to delegate the power.
Delegate the power. My wife already takes care of everything. Dude, my wife already takes care of a lot around the house.
Exactly.
Then it sounds like to me that you're on chicken duty.
Exactly. I'm not buying chickens for that reason. It's a terrible idea.
Dave could help, maybe.
Hey, Dave, race car needs to be fixed, and hey, don't forget to feed the chickens. I feel like that's a bad... Dave might stop working on the race car. Again, you know what worries me there? Race car gets slower.
Yeah, well, I could maybe get some chicken eggs.
Chad's going to be making a side hustle out of selling chicken eggs.
They're the best. They're way better than store-bought.
Oh, for sure.
Like the harder shell, and like I said, I can actually make over easy eggs with those.
Different colors.
Sometimes you get two
Egg yolks in one. Yep.
It's like jackpot.
This really went off the rails.
Yeah,
here.
we're definitely.
That's good. So we have
getting
lead times, we have overtime, we have cost of buying parts, and now we have chickens.
All right, we'll replace it with a better answer to this podcast.
Okay.
It's going to be trying to source people to do the work.
Because of chickens. I gotta find somebody to source to take care of the chickens.
Yeah, these damn chickens are adding more stress. I need to
Yes,
stop talking
I
about
need to
chickens.
get rid of the chickens out of my life because the stress is just going up.
Well, they're pretty self-sufficient. They just need to be fed and pull the eggs out every now and again. Can't be that hard.
I don't know much about it, but I feel like I'm gonna have to deal with coyotes.
I'll see how many chickens I can get in Minneapolis.
Chad's got a chicken coop in the back of his house.
I think you can have like 2 or 3.
Can you? Where you
I
live?
think so.
Really?
Our neighbor growing up across the street had a couple of them in Bloomington. I mean, that's
There was one place I went in the cities where they had goats. They're literally their entire property was all fenced in, and they had goats. That was their dogs, and they legally allowed them to do it.
if you drive down Shepherd Road going to the XL Center, they have goats in like public areas that are fenced off, like eating the grass or weeds or whatever you want to call it.
Because they just don't want to mow.
Apparently,
Okay, I got this idea. If we don't want to mow, so let's buy goats.
they're fenced in right in St. Paul, like right off the river.
And they refertilize the grass so it grows nicer.
Did you know that they were there?
I've never seen them there. No.
You kidding me? He doesn't go up. He doesn't go downtown.
Well, that's why I was surprised he answered.
Yeah, come on. We both. You think he's afraid to travel outside of Lonsdale?
The only time I used to travel that road a lot was when I was in the towing industry because I couldn't go down through the main drag. I had to take that little loop around.
It's the fastest way to get to the XL. Plus, you get to see goats.
It's the fastest way to the XL. Which, for the record, for anybody listening who doesn't know what that is where the Minnesota Wild play hockey. So, Chad has now told you the fastest way to get to the hockey game, and you can see goats on the way. So,
Well, the Saints baseball.
that's true.
That's
Saints
down
baseball's over there as
too.
well.
So there's a couple things.
And some nice rock walls as you exit the freeway.
I can't
Yeah,
handle it.
there's that.
I can't handle you. Can't. You know, there's road racing at night down there. It's a true story.
Might have to go take the Ram down there, see if we can race for pinks.
No, they said road racing. Not grocery getting.
I was like, where are you going with this?
That Ram. I saw you backing into the snowbank this morning.
Is that why you
Oh,
called
no.
it?
So what you see there, I do it every morning, and it drives my wife nuts if I'm on the phone with her. So it's got the backup sensors, and it'll start beeping, obviously, as you get close. And I go until it forces the locking of the brakes up, and that's what happens. So you hear that thing just lock up.
Yeah,
the
I heard it.
brakes.
I heard it lock up as I was walking, and I just turned and looked, and Travis's truck's like up against the snowbank. I'm like, oh.
I go until it tells me to stop. And once it stops me, then
He
I'm
doesn't
good.
use his own brakes. He makes the truck brake for him. I
It's all
like
this
it.
new fancy technology.
All right, let's discuss this stuff real quick. Let's discuss what you guys threw out. It really, Chad, you said lead times, right? So lead times can cause stresses, obviously. You know why lead times cause stress?
Because you've got to work harder to get the lead times down.
Poor planning.
Poor planning. Demand. Demand is why.
And we're both wrong, Travis.
People have a want, like an I want it now mentality, right? I mean, is that not the world we live in? Like, I want
sure.
it now. That's kind of the mentality everybody has. Nobody has patience in the world today. Let's be honest. I mean, hence Travis didn't even have the patience to hit the brakes. He just runs it into the snowbank. But again, longer lead times, they're disruptive to mental peace. And lead times lead to concerns of unexpected delays, and lead times breed doubt. And many times, a mind with doubt is very dangerous. Not because it's actually causes a problem, but people begin to worry about the what ifs, right? What if this doesn't get done? What if I don't receive it in time? There's so much self-contamination with their energy, right? When you start looking at it, like lead time and in general can cause so many problems with a business because people, your overhead goes up because now your consumer is calling you and demanding more information. Where if you have it now, you don't get as many calls, right? So it's going to reduce the burden on people. So obviously lower lead times is always better for that. But, some of it's just simply lead times add burden elsewhere too, just because now your overhead has to go up, right? You have to have more going on to maintain that, try to get that lead time taken care of. So, by adding CNC technology to your shop, you can reduce a lot of times the lead times that you're waiting on for products because you're reducing your lead time from your suppliers for one. So if I'm buying cabinets or buying signs versus building them, well, I can control my lead time a little bit more.
Yep.
If I'm thinking right there. But, you control your deadlines. So that should reduce some of your stress in terms of lead time, right?
For sure.
So, I'm also going to stick with Chad here on this one because I know you had mentioned the cost of buying parts. Well, if you can't make them, you have to buy them, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a CNC machine and you're buying something, again, your costs are 100% related to what you buy things for, right? If your demand is on someone else, you have to pay their markup, right? I mean, they're not working for free.
You're probably paying for their CNC machine.
Right. Probably paying for their CNC. That's probably true. But yeah, you have to pay their markup. And, now your customer, like if I'm your customer and I'm buying a part from you, Travis, but you're buying the part from Chad, am I not paying both your guys' markups now?
Especially since Chad's going to charge me a ton
Probably true.
for anything.
Absolutely. I would just cut Travis out.
But that's my point. Like, you're selling the part to Travis, and then Travis is selling it to me. So I'm paying Travis's price plus Travis is paying your price. So at the end, I'm paying both your prices.
Absolutely.
So it's going to drive up costs for your customer then. If you could just make the part yourself, right? You could operate at a lower overhead potentially. Because I don't have to pay Travis at all anymore. Got rid of him. And Chad, I'm not really paying you anymore either because I don't have to pay Travis to pay you. So I'm just paying myself. So yeah, now Chad, hey, you should come work for me. Right? I mean, it's the same thing at that point, but now I control my lead time and my cost.
Yep. Which will make you more profitable.
Which should make you more profitable. Exactly. So when you start looking at it, like you could just make the part yourself and add your own equipment and you could operate a lower overhead and, obviously be more affordable for your customers. And could you not sell more if you're more affordable?
Absolutely.
Correct.
Like people are going to talk about you more.
Unless you weren't selling to start.
Correct. Unless you
Then
weren't.
you're still going to have trouble to sell.
That's true. Okay. There's that variable. If you just suck at selling, like if you can't sell anything, then I guess at that point, I don't know.
Helen, we're both in sales. Let me tell you why I suck as a salesman.
I guess that's all you have left to say. Explain why you suck as a salesman. But yeah, I mean, if you have a product that's worth a damn, you should be able to figure that out on your own. But, Travis, you touched on overtime. Obviously, that's the only thing that I would say that if you're manufacturing your own product, you risk running overtime. Correct? Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to try to source people to do the work. And, obviously, these all feel connected because reality is overtime is something that costs you money, right?
Yep.
You don't make money on overtime. Overtime costs you margin. Overtime adds stresses to the business, but also to the employee, right? Because now Chad can't go to his golf simulator because he's got to work overtime.
Exactly.
Which is not good, right?
That's why Hulk smashed my desk.
But, the burden of overtime eventually wears people out and burns out good employees. So I guess some people like overtime, right? There's some people that live on the overtime. They love it. But,
Yep.
I mean, I think the majority of people don't. And it wears out good employees. And so, when you're looking to try to reduce overtime, you can either outsource your part, which then goes back to now you're buying from somebody and paying markups, right? Or you need to expand. You need to find a way to reduce overtime. And reducing overtime comes from either adding more people to do the job, right? Because then you have more people doing it at one time.
Or automation.
There it is. Automation. You add a CNC machine and you potentially reduce all of that overtime and you accomplish the job in the same time period and you're making more money.
And your CNC doesn't care about overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Chad, you could start the machine at 4:59 and walk away. Mm-hmm. And I don't pay you a lick of overtime and the machine finishes at 5:20 and the next morning you come in with a machine with parts sitting on it. Right?
Seems efficient.
So I saved 20 minutes overtime and the parts still got cut.
And I don't think most people even realize how much the machine will shave in time just in doing things by hand. A lot of these guys that are building cabinets by hand can do the work in 2 days what the machine can do in a day or half a day.
Other weaknesses, we're slow learners, and we're not particularly good listeners.
What'd you say?
Well, I think a CNC machine doesn't get an attitude with you. It's not going to get a LinkedIn page. It's not going to look for something greener on the other side of the fence, It's there with you.
That's true. CNC machines, they don't have attitudes. I mean, some of them do. Some of them can be a little pain in your ass sometimes. No. In all reality, like you said, CNC machines, they only know what you've taught them, right? Mm-hmm. They run off their programs. I mean, the only way they have an attitude is if you screwed something up.
Or you're not lubricating it.
Or you didn't lubricate it.
Shut up a minute.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean that's the honest take on that, is that CNC automation can reduce a lot of that. And adding technology is the best way to reduce the stress. And the equipment is going to add a level of dependability in your business and freedom to your business to provide more flexibility to a more of a normalized hours, right? And normalized stress levels. Because again, as I mentioned, you're never ever getting rid of stress in your business, right? I mean, lead times you can reduce, overtime you can reduce, cost of buying parts can be reduced, and now you don't have to source people because you potentially have a machine that can do the work of 2 people.
Yep.
Or 3 people, depending on your shop. I mean, isn't that crazy? A CNC machine basically can replace having to add 2 or 3 people to your staff.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a lot of savings from.
So in 2023, as you start looking at this, like reducing stress in your business, because 23 is, at the beginning of every year, you hear the new me, or new year, new me, right? Who's tired of hearing that?
Me.
Me.
Fortunately, I didn't hear it until just now from you. But
Oh,
now
you
I
hear it
got
every
that
year.
added stress.
Now you're tired of hearing it.
Now I'm really tired of hearing it.
New year, new me.
New year, new me. Hey, Kyle, you got anything to say over there?
No.
Kyle, that's what you're supposed to say. New year, new year. But the reality is like that's the thing, is every year everybody says like they're gonna do something new and then they don't do anything.
Yep.
Like they do something new for 30 days and then they quit. Like how many people have given up on their diets already this year?
I never started, so I didn't have anything to give up.
I didn't make any resolutions, so I didn't.
I'm still on my diet, just for the record. Go me.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs
And hot dogs.
and hot dogs. Oh man, but no, I mean you have to think about that. Like it's so easy to say you're going to get more efficient and you're going to reduce stress and do all these things, and then you don't do anything. Like it's 23, you should be looking at CNC machines at this point. Like if you don't have a CNC machine in a manufacturing plant, if you're building cabinets, you're doing signs, you're doing widgets, you're building birdhouses, I don't care what you're building. If you're doing something that automation could help you with and you haven't looked at automation yet, you're a fool. Simple as that.
Especially for people that are getting a little bit older and they're thinking about retiring, you could take this as a retirement gift to yourself too.
Retirement gifts to yourself.
Yep.
Does it come with cake? Travis, if I buy a machine for myself because I'm retiring, will you send me cake?
I'll probably hire a company to send you cake.
You're going to send me cake, though?
You don't want to.
We'll do it, but offer expires at the end of this year, so.
That's like 11 months away. It's a long time.
Well, if you want your cake, get to retire.
I just got to figure out how to retire the next 10 months, then I can get cake.
And then you'll just be spending all your time race car driving.
It's race car crashing. Get it right.
There's a lot of that going on too.
I don't think you could do that full time.
I don't think so either.
It'd be pretty expensive. You better have a real good retirement package.
You'd have to live pretty light,
Whoa, my mic's falling over. I don't know what's happening here.
like in that car trailer you bought.
No, I don't have a car trailer. My wife does, remember?
Well,
She stole that from me.
that's where you'd have to live if that was your full time.
I was going to live in, I already said I'm living in Travis's shed.
Oh, there you go.
I'm
just
already
ready-
going to be living in there, so we're bunkmates.
No, I'm out. Done. I'm out. Not doing it. You know what? I'm going to keep my job.
You deal with me
That
10 hours
convinced
a
me.
day.
That convinced me to keep my job right there.
You're welcome.
I'm not retiring. No longer retiring. But I was really excited about it. Can I just have cake?
No cake for you.
Oh, come on. Just a little bit of cake. Anyways, so the reality is stress will always exist in life. Right? We've
Right.
all agreed on that. The stress isn't going away.
Correct.
But it's about managing the stresses and believing in, yourself and being able to do things that reduce those stresses. And, I believe confidently the right CNC technology can significantly reduce and help you grow in 2023. Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, for sure.
And
I mean, if I was going to pick out a machine that I was going to buy, just being honest, ShopSabre.com.
Pretty good place to go.
That's probably where I'd go.
I would definitely look at financing that new ShopSabre today. We have awesome financing deals.
I like it. I like where you're going there. Is that on ShopSabre.com?
Could be.
There's
Or
a
Chad at ShopSabre.com.
Chad at
Email.
ShopSabre.com will finance it. Chad said he's going to finance it.
Not Travis at ShopSabre. Chad at ShopSabre.
Chad at ShopSabre.com. It's weird. It's spelled HUNTER at ShopSabre.com. Or
Plugging in Hunter. I like it.
or MICAH at ShopSabre.com.
Those are slower to respond emails.
Oh, no. Poor Hunter and Micah. They're not even in here with a voice. I try to plug their emails for them. Chad just rips them. I love it.
I'd say, too, for
ShopSabre.com.
after Brandon puts his plug in again.
Hey,
Shut up a minute.
plug in ShopSabre here. Don't you know that?
If you've already got a quote from us, you need to get it updated for the new year. We've got some new pricing, and of course, like Chad said, we've got some good financing stuff going on. And if you have not contacted us and got a quote, you probably should do that. Travis at ShopSabre.com.
That is Travis.
Travis, you're not supposed to use this platform for plugging your own email. Come on, man.
Hey, Chad, can you spell Travis's email for me?
CHAD at ShopSabre.com.
Oh, man. It's too much fun. So, get a quote, get financed, get a CNC machine. Kyle?
Check
You got
us
anything
out
to say?
on
I
Facebook.
knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming. I saw him perk up. Like, he's been sleeping in his chair for 40 minutes. And then as soon as he heard it was get to the, he like perked. He's like, wait a second. I got something to say. I got something to say.
Gotta get in position. No, but check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
The Tic Tac.
LinkedIn.
MySpace.
MySpace.
Got any cool videos? Kyle at ShopSabre.com. Always open.
How do you spell that, Kyle? CHAD at
ShopSabre.com.
That's funny. Yeah. I honestly send us your videos. Kyle's been posting some pretty awesome stuff. Some pretty cool videos you've got lately. Pretty cool projects.
A lot of cool clients out there.
Haven't
Cool
posted
stuff.
one race video though. I've been sending him race videos every day to his email. He said, "Send me cool stuff to my email." All right, send him race video after race video. I haven't seen my post yet.
Probably
Nobody
nowadays.
wants to keep seeing you crash into a wall, Brandon. That's
It
why.
was cool though.
No one likes to see someone win third place.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yep.
Ricky Bobby.
Thank you for the quote there. It's funny actually. You said the third place comment. So a friend of mine, she races in Arizona, and her boyfriend and I were hanging out working on the car, and he was talking about something being cheated up on her car. He's like, maybe we'll cheat this up that way, because she wasn't winning, and he said something about cheating it up, and she goes, "You can't cheat my car. I don't want to get in trouble." He goes, "Don't worry, they don't tech 15th." I was dying. I was just like, well, he's not wrong there. So it was pretty good. But yeah, literally without missing a beat. Don't worry, they don't tech 15th. I'm like, oh, that's true. So
About that.
he's got that going for him. But yeah, like I said, hopefully today's episode helped you guys think about, this world that we're in and the stresses and moving forward in 23. Obviously as we move forward this year, we're going to be changing up the format a little bit. We're pretty excited about it. Like I said, we're going to be getting a new podcast format. But one of it is, one of the things we're looking for is, more ideas. We want to hear what you guys want to hear about. We'd love to have you guys post comments and let us know what topics you want to hear more about. And, email us, Facebook us, whatever. Let us know kind of where your head's at. And then we're also excited to say that in July, we're going to be in Vegas.
Let's go, baby. Never been before.
We're going to AWFS 2023.
It's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm pretty pumped about it. We're working on the booth and all that. We might even do a podcast from Vegas. We just got to figure out how to do it.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be kind of cool. Do a podcast from the show.
I don't know. It can't
Like
be that
while
hard.
it's going on.
Ooh, that'd be even better. Put it at the table and just have people walking around us yelling out inappropriate things behind us.
I could just do that.
Chad will be walking behind us yelling out. I don't know what that guy was yelling, Brandon. Like, Chad, it was you. Brandon sucks. Chad, that was still you. I can still see you.
Kyle wants to come to Vegas. He's going to bring the switchboard with.
Kyle's going to fly down with the switchboard. That's going to be his carry-on.
It's quite heavy. I'll drop it. Like I dropped the mic.
Better put a protection plan on it.
No.
Is your computer broken yet?
Not yet.
That's right.
Not yet. That means we can keep going.
Give it a month.
It's the
We'll
phone.
find out once you try to post
the
this
phone.
podcast.
Yeah, we'll find out. But, with that, I'm Brandon.
I'm Chad.
I'm Travis.
I'm Kyle.
Thanks for talking shop with ShopSabre.